back to what I just said when I said white women are taught to go to school to find a husband, right? They'll go if they want a doctor, they'll go study doctor, like that that field of work. If they want a lawyer, they're gonna go to being a paralegal or an attorney or administrative assistant in those fields. Us black people, we're not taught that. We're taught to go get the education and pretty much fend for yourself.
Well, if being taught to, if black women are most enrolled in college, right?
You asking
It's
me a question?
black women are the most group in the United States enrolled in college, right?
Uh, it's a mix, but yes.
So how is it that most black women are college educated, but when you look at the income, they are last or second to last with Hispanic women? If their goal is to go to college and be independent, why doesn't the income match with that?
I don't know. You have that.
I think because they're single parents. I mean, single moms.
Mhm. I mean, I would say
Because when you're doing it by yourself, you have to spend more. You're not getting anything. You just working,
Would
working,
they
working.
when they measure the income, they don't measure. They got white household, black households, or whatever the case, but they got black women, black men, Hispanic women, Hispanic men, Asian women, Asian men, white women, white men. So now, regardless of whether they are in a household or not, what their income is what their income is.
Yes.
So
but I'm
why
saying,
are black women the most in college and the least paid?
I
Do you?
think, but wouldn't that have something to do with whatever field they choose to study in, though? Wouldn't that would be kind of that? Wouldn't that kind of fall back on what profession they decided to do?
So
You know
why
what
do
I'm
we still
saying?
chose those fields?
That's what they choosing. I don't know. That's what they
Right.
want to
But
do.
what I'm
Like
saying is
that's what they
that
choose. Like if they're going to go to school, I assume they're going to pick whatever it is they're actually interested in, whatever they feel like their
Exactly.
calling is.
right.
And
Yeah.
if you get paid
But
less for it, then that's just what it is. Like
Because you want to
white
like what you
not
do.
taught
You
that.
want to like what
But
you
how
do.
yeah,
but how long will you do that before you learn that it's not paying off?
that's on them though. If they're comfortable with it, they're comfortable with it. If you want,
Hold up now. Anytime I say something that's good about black women, it's us with you. But when
it's
it's
what
something that's it's us, that's us with it, us that. But when it's something that may not shine as well, it's that's them, it's individual
nobody.
then.
No, that's just your perception. That's
So
bullshit.
no, but I'm just okay,
Damn,
but I'm just saying
damn.
with that's part of our issue, right?
No,
That we don't work together.
I
No,
mean,
no, no, no. I'm just
I will
saying.
say black people. Okay, yeah, black people do have an issue with not working together. But if we're just talking, because I didn't go to college, so that's why I'm saying they. I didn't do that. My field was more of like creative. I did a little modeling, X, Y, and Z. But I'm just saying, as far as like, if you're saying why is their income so low, because that's the field of study that they chose. That's what
But
they
if you
want to
didn't go
do.
to college, if you didn't go to college, that's not your field of expertise. Why are you talking about it?
Because you asked a question and we on the podcast, so it doesn't matter if I'm doing it or
Queen, I know
not.
you're talking to my sister
If
like
we're
that.
having, well, hold on, see, I got him, T. I got him. I got him. Quint likes to talk and he lets a lot of shit out his mouth at the same time. So
Damn.
basically, what I'm
Oh.
saying is, if we're having a discussion, I'm gonna be a part of the discussion. I don't have to go and experience anything to talk.
I got
Yeah.
Period.
you. Why you have to put it?
I'm
Yo,
sorry. I just
she's
had to.
yo,
It was for
yo,
dramatic
look at
effect.
Jessica's face, yo. Jessica's like, oh shit.
But to address what you're saying as far as why the black woman income is low once she reaches a particular amount. So I guess now with society and the masters realize that us getting degrees are something that we're pretty good at. They kind of lower our pay and stuff like. So right now, an associate's degree is like you getting a high school diploma. Right now, they starting to discredit degrees and level of degrees because black people are getting what they need to get in order for them to rank higher in these jobs and receive the certain amount of money that they're supposed to receive. They don't want that. They want to
I
keep us at a
personally,
certain level.
me personally, I feel like black people don't know what to go to school for. So I feel like we're going to school for our feelings and we're not going to school for anything logical.
And
So
don't intern.
if you know that you're going to school, you should know eventually what the payouts are going to be. I This is why men essentially would make more money because we choose trades other than going to college for years to, end up coming out of college and only making $50,000, but the student debt that we have is roughly, $70,000.
I know it's
So
stupid.
essentially, it's going to take you forever to pay it back, and we're not even reading the fine lines because we're pushed into get an education, get an education. You know that we have no idea what we're signing. You're signing your life away if you went like this is why I say marriage is so essential because if you had a husband and a wife working together for one cause, so if I know you went to school and it wasn't for a basket weaving degree or it wasn't social working, which essentially doesn't pay nothing, right? You went to school to add to what we could build.
Mhm.
You're good. Learn finances. Go to school for that. Go to school in understanding the market, real estate, things along those lines that can build you. But if we're not choosing to go to school for the right reasons, we end up under. And that's I believe our biggest problem. We just don't pick, we don't know what we're doing. And we're being coached by a bunch of people that don't know what they're doing.
Right.
So
So it's
So
more in the same.
one
Quent State.
recommendation I would say is make sure y'all go to school for business management, accounting, because everybody that's starting a business, they want to hire somebody to manage their business, and they want to hire or they need to hire somebody to run their books. So those are two important categories
So
to go to school for.
I'm a researcher.
Hey,
Quent, where did you get your info on the wage gap?
say
Where
again.
did you get that for the wage gap?
I looked it up a while ago. I looked it up a
Yeah, I
while
remember
ago.
my whole thing had
And
went
that's
out.
as of what year?
It may have been like 2 years ago. I know it's last and second to last with women, black women and Hispanic women, and then sometimes black men drop down to second to last or what have you. So
It says looking across racial and ethnic groups, a wide gulf separates the earnings of Black and Hispanic women from the earnings of white men. In 2022, Black women earned 70% as much as white men, and Hispanic women earned only 65% as much.
Am, come here.
so what did I just say? I
It
said you
says
drop from
racial.
last. I said you flip flop second to last and last, right?
So it's saying that we, as Black women, earn 70% as much as white men, and
Right.
Okay. Well, how
Hispanic.
much how much do white women earn and Asian women then?
Probably 80%.
So you looking up some faulty? You looking up?
Because essentially, black women don't out earn white men. They don't out earn black men. On
Right.
average, black women earn roughly 48,000, as the black men maybe 50. So we're not even that far apart on average, right?
Mhm.
But when we start looking at and usually every race of man out earns their woman. Every race of man out earns their woman. So this is the problem. We get into the okay, all black. I'm not saying that's what you're doing, Jess, but I
Well,
do
he's
believe
from a
that, and
research center, but go
yeah,
ahead.
but I'm not saying that that's what you're doing. But I do believe we get into the okay, well, how black women are doing better than black men. You hear the new topic now: black women are buying more houses, all this great stuff, but doing it for what? But if black women do carry the most debt, So
You're right. Don't get me
wouldn't it be
wrong.
better?
When I'm stating the stats, I think that people lead with staying in those things without actually looking at the stats and seeing how it is. Now, I did not say that it makes it better in the whole diaspora of it all, like with interrelations with men and women and the way families should be and all that, and how, the core and all that. That's not what I'm trying to say. But I'm just
She's
also
just
saying
stating
that
facts.
yes,
I get you. You're stating where are you getting your facts from, and
they're getting the earnings and all that other stuff. Now, not saying that them having a
Where
house
was I
and all that
wrong?
is any better than not having any not being lower on with the income.
right? But that's what I'm saying. Like
Was
because
I
I
wrong?
study. I look at stats all
Yes,
day.
you
Like
were.
I'm always on the CDC website. I'm always looking at exactly what we earn. If you look at blackdemographics.com specifically, it breaks it down to the Black community. So if you look at what we're doing as a people, in general, we're not doing good. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
As a people, as a whole.
Right. And I agree
Right.
with that. Because
Yeah.
just because you have your own house doesn't mean that you're okay with.
Yeah, there's a lot of people in the house that's in debt. There's a lot of people that go to college that's in some serious debt, right?
Yeah.
And they'll never get out of it unless Biden forgives their loans, right?
Right.
Right.
So, we know that. That's why I say, wouldn't it just be better, right? Which is if we go back to the video, right, of the young ladies and talking about what they will do in the bedroom as opposed to whatever for their man. It'll just be better if we taught our young ladies how to
That's
get
just
themselves together.
right.
Say again,
I said
Charlotte.
that's just a piece of what her skill and her job as a woman is for her man. Just a piece of it. Right?
But she said she's gonna stay at home. So what she was saying was, I'm gonna stay at home, cook, clean, and give guac. So,
Mingo not gonna let that last part go. He got.
that's what I'm saying.
Gotta walk in there.
So she didn't mention anything else about what she could provide for the family.
Right.
She literally just mentioned,
Just
sex, cooking, and cleaning, right? Which is what a lot of people today believe that marriage is. I'm a woman.
that's
All I
not.
want to do is stay at home, cook. While the man goes out, he protect people, provides, he puts his life on the line every day. And all I need to do is that. No, we as men, we need your inspiration. We as men, we need more from you than just that. And when it boils down to it, we need you to add. Some men today might need you to add finances to the pot because not all men make good money. But now you hear women turning around and saying, like, I did a reaction the other day of a young lady talking about, and she was a therapist, a whole therapist, telling women that if you meet a man and he makes $50,000, he should not be dating. That's crazy. So half of America wouldn't date.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
We have to.
Right.
I think.
Well,
I think.
the thing is this, right? If he does not have ambition to be better, then he shouldn't be dating, right?
Yeah.
Why not though?
You can't.
I don't agree
because
with
you
that.
can't- brother. You can't take care of you, your wife, right? Your child with just 50,000. Like, you should be striving to get a little bit more than that, right?
But you as a woman,
can't
you might have to
depend
work
on-
and put
hold on.
50% in.
That's not
Let's-
a problem. But you can't
let's-
depend on me solely. I might as well be by myself if I gotta take care of you.
So
my
then you pay
child.
100% of the bills.
Yeah, damn.
Right. I might as well be by myself. Because if you're not
Let's-
striving to be better, I can be there to support you to a certain extent. That's when you striving to be better. And I would definitely wholeheartedly be there to support you to be better. If I got plugs to pull you in somewhere, I'm gonna do that. But if you just want to sit there on your butt and don't want to do nothing, no.
When
I'm
you say
sorry.
nothing, he is doing something. He's getting up, he's going to work every day. So the man is doing and playing his part. What's
the
up,
way
Yak?
Right.
the way the world is set up right now, everybody need a job. If you're
Yeah.
just a normal person like us, Everybody need a job. You cannot depend on your
Wait a
husband.
minute, guys. I'm not normal.
Well,
All
I'm
right.
just saying the average.
All right.
The
Just
average
gonna put that out there.
person
I'm done.
needs a job because everything is expensive. Everything
Yes.
is rising. It's people that had to move back in with people because the rent is right. You got to make 3 times what you make. No one makes that. No
Right,
one
but
makes
Yeah.
this
that.
is the thing when going back to teaching, right? These are the things, skill sets that our parents, half people in this world, half of the people in this world were not taught to become adults. We were just
Yeah.
pushed out there,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
yeah.
But that comes from them having to recognize generational trauma, which half of the generation back then did not. We're fixing it now. So
Yeah.
we know not to do that to our kids moving forward to prepare them for the future, to where we know, okay, you have to strive to get this amount of money, or what are your skill sets, right? We know now to put our children in those particular areas or trades to gain the skill set that's going to get them the money that they need. Where back in the day, everything was a penny. They didn't have
Yeah.
to strive to get extra amount of money. You had grandfathers that worked at the cottons or wherever they needed to work, and they bought brownstone. These kids are not taught that. Like, you have everybody coming up that are rich, coming from rich families, and buying all the properties, whereas it. I don't want to get into it, but
You
we
talking about
just have to teach.
gentrification?
Yeah, we just have to teach our children now that we know we have to break those generational curses to say, okay,
Yeah.
well,
I
you know what? In the future, this is what you need to do. This is what I'm going to do to set you up. I'm going to take out $1 million life insurance policy and put that in what is it called?
A trust fund, a
Yes,
life.
put that in the trust fund. So when I pass over, that's gonna gain interest, and you will be a trust fund baby. So
So you're
I
talking
like
think
about
that
financial literacy,
these are
teaching
things
our
we
I
need to be teaching in order for our kids to be having more than $50,000
I think that what we
growing
We
up.
have to realize, I think that what we have to realize is that as Black people, we'll never be accepted. We'll never be treated fairly. We'll never be treated equally. We'll never have equality.
We
So with
will
that
if we
being said,
come together.
with that being said, these videos that we see, I've seen several of these videos as well with Hispanic women, Black women, Asian women saying the same things, but they won't be scrutinized like those Black women were. And if you think about it, when people say use the term gold digger, they usually try to say Black women. But what Black woman have you ever seen ride around in a hover round with a 90-year-old billionaire kissing him in the mouth saying she love him
Right?
like Anna Nicole Smith? But she's one of the biggest gold diggers ever. But they'll give that title to Black women. Look at
Yeah.
Marilyn Monroe. She's one of the biggest whores. Her and Elizabeth Taylor slept with married men and everything else. And she's an icon to where some of our Black women wear clothes with her picture on it.
Yeah.
She's a professional hoe. So
Yeah.
so what we have to realize is that every stigma is going to be put on us, and so we have to be better as people. So now, going into that, Mingo and I, when we do interviews, we have people walking in sweatpants and t-shirts and ball caps and I mean it's crazy how people don't even know how to do a basic interview. And this is of all nationalities that don't know how to dress for interviews. But who get looked at the strangest when they come in out of clothing?
Yeah.
Black people.
Out of exactly.
Yeah.
And so this is what we have to realize before I think we're going to be able to start to do better. And I think the solution is to catch them while they're young. I think the parents need to do something, have a big step in on it or what have you. And we need to teach things like how to interview when they're young. We need to teach them the basics of Excel because, unless you're working outside, if you're working on a computer, you need to know something about Excel.
Mm.
So these are some
Right.
of the things, financial literacy. These are some of the things that we need to work on teaching our young people.
Right.
So even if they are in the streets saying stuff like this, they still have the wherewithal
Or
to
substance.
balance. Exactly.